Today, we're diving into a really fascinating and, honestly, a kind of unsettling idea: the architecture of deception. We're going to see how it's possible to build a complete lie using nothing but stone-cold truths.
All right, to get our heads around this, we're actually going to go way back, like to the 14th century, with a quote from the historian Ibn Khaldun. He wrote, "The great number of scholarly works available is an obstacle on the path to attaining scholarship." Now just think about that for a second. It's a total paradox, right? Too much information makes it harder to actually become knowledgeable. And that warning from over 600 years ago, it just perfectly sets up the problem we're all facing today, but on a massive industrial scale.
So that brings us to the big central question for today. How on earth can a collection of truths create a lie? I mean, really think about it. If every single piece of information you're getting is technically accurate, how can the final picture, the takeaway, be completely and utterly false? That's the mystery we're going to unravel.
To answer that question, we have to start by making a really crucial distinction between two words we tend to throw around like they're the same thing. We need to talk about facts versus truth, because as you're about to see, they're not the same thing at all. Okay, so let's break this down. Think of a fact as an atomic data point. It's just a single brick. It answers the question what happened in the most narrow, isolated way possible. But truth? Truth is different. Truth is the whole coherent picture. It's the architecture that you build with those bricks. It answers the bigger question, what did it mean? You see the difference? A fact can be verified all by itself, but truth is impossible without context. And here's the absolute key takeaway from that. A collection of perfectly accurate, verifiable facts can still be arranged to build a fundamentally dishonest picture. The lie isn't in any one brick, you see. The lie is in the building itself. Accuracy is not the same thing as truthfulness, not even close. And you know what? There's actually a specific name for this incredibly powerful technique. It's called paltering. And believe me, when you see it done well, it really is an art form. So here's the official definition for you. Paltering is the use of technically true statements to produce a false impression. Now notice, it's not actually lying, because you're not making any false claims. But it's not just keeping quiet either. It's an active, very strategic use of the truth itself to deceive. Let's look at a classic example to make this super clear. Imagine a pharmaceutical company gets asked a tough question. Did your drug cause deaths in the clinical trials? Their answer? All deaths that occurred during the trial were reviewed by an independent committee. Now that statement is 100% true. It's a fact. But what did they leave out? The most important part. They omitted the fact that the committee actually found the drug was responsible for several deaths. See how that works? Every single word they said was accurate, but the impression they created was a total deception.
And this just perfectly sums up the whole technique. It's the core mechanic of how paltering works. You create an accurate foreground, but a dishonest frame. The person deceiving you very carefully selects which true facts to put right there in the spotlight and which crucial related facts to leave completely in the dark. It's that selection, that framing, that creates the lie.
Okay, here's another one you've probably seen a million times, especially in politics. A politician gets up on stage and proudly declares, "Crime fell 30% during my administration," and they show you this chart. And you know what? That chart is accurate. The numbers are totally real. This fact, in isolation, is verifiable. But what happens when we zoom out? What happens when we add that crucial ingredient we talked about, context? Well, here's a timeline of the crime rate over the last 20 years. And what do we see? We see that crime has actually been falling consistently for 2 decades. In fact, if you look closely, the rate of decline actually slowed down under this particular politician. So, was that 30% drop real? Yes. But the story it told all by itself? Completely false. The frame changes absolutely everything.
So we've seen how individuals can do this. But here's the thing. The problem we're facing today is so much bigger than that. We're now dealing with what you could basically call the modern paltering machine. So why does this stuff just thrive online? Well, you just have to look at the incentives built into our information ecosystem. Paltering is perfect for creating these emotionally charged, context-free nuggets of information. That emotional punch drives engagement. Likes, shares, angry comments. It's super easy to share, and it's incredibly difficult to debunk because, again, every individual fact is true. The algorithms that run our social feeds, they don't care about truth. They care about reaction.
And this brings us right back to our friend Ibn Khaldun. His warning about too much information has been weaponized and industrialized. As this quote puts it so perfectly, we are not starved of facts.
We are drowning in them, and the drowning is the point. This flood of isolated, decontextualized facts makes it almost impossible for us to see the real architecture of truth.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty bleak, right? It's a huge problem, but we're not helpless. So what can we actually do about it? Let's take a look at what truth requires. Here it is. This is your personal toolkit for truth. Just 3 things to ask yourself whenever you come across a piece of information. Number 1, context. What's the bigger picture here? Where's the trend line? Number 2, coherence. Are these facts representative of the whole story, or are they just cherry-picked? Is the emphasis honest? And number 3, this is the big one, intent. Ask yourself, what is this specific arrangement of facts designed to make me believe?
So if you remember anything, remember this simple idea. Facts are the bricks.
They're just the raw material. The truth is the architecture. It's the thing that gets built. And that leaves us with one final, crucial question to take with you. As you go about your day, as you scroll through your feeds, just keep asking yourself this. What is the information I'm consuming trying to build? Is it an honest structure, or is it an architecture of deception?